guys, how are you doing? It's a cold one again this morning. Car's all frosty again. Took 3 goes to get us started. It's pretty much a replay of the very first day that we did where I wasn't sure if the night was going to start. But she always does. So yeah, we're back at the Finch job again today. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do there, to be honest. We've got some outside work, but it's so cold. Got 2 pairs of socks on today. The thing is, we've got to do a bit of rendering outside. The temperature's supposed to really drop. There's a bit of rendering we can do in a porch, which is kind of like in a sheltered area, and Jasper's given me the okay. Jasper the Emperor, as we're plastering for the Empire in the Emperor's quest to plaster the galaxy. So we're in for him this week doing that. I've got some other bits and pieces, our own stuff backing up for next week, it would appear. Just waiting for people to phone and everything. But yeah, it's horrible, it's cold, nobody wants to be outside in this. But we've got a window to patch up in another part of the house. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to record today, but you know, let's get on with the day, shall we, and stop rambling on and do some plastering. Show you some plastering. That's why you clicked on this link, right? Right, see you in a minute. Okay, so here we are at the Finch job. It's quite cold. I think it's a bit of a washout sort of day today. The temperature's supposed to be really dropping tonight, so we've only really got outside stuff that we can get on with. There's a little bit of making good inside, but yeah, it's going to drop so much tonight. We really don't want to do anything outside because there's a good possibility it can freeze and fail. So what's been going on this job is I mean, have a look through the playlist, you can see all the videos that are entitled Finch. Got Finch in the title is what's been going on here. But as we can see here, look, we've been using this silicone render finish product. So if you don't know, the method is, it's on to thermalite blocks. They use thermalite blocks here. So the method is to grit it up with some the thermalite blocks to kill the suction down, and then you have a base coat material which comes in bags, and that goes on really tight. It's almost like skimming really. Then you get the mesh and you push that mesh into it, and then you put a little scratch coat in it to give it some key. Then you switch to some other products like one coat render products. So that's quite possibly you would have had the beads put on by that point already, and then you kind of float it out, render it as you normally would, and roll it off and stuff. And it doesn't have to be that good. You don't need to sponge it up or anything. You can get away with troweling it up, and then it has to be treated with some sort of primer, again, some silicone primer or something, or acrylic primer. So it has to virtually be painted once it's been rendered, and then this silicone finish, which gets troweled on, and it goes on really tight, and then it gives it this waterproof seal, as you can see here, and very similar to just a regular render. It's a little bit coarser, I'd say, but I'm not a big fan of it. I quite like the meshing and the floating side of it. But the silicone renders and stuff that goes over the top, I mean, it's all right, but I just find it doesn't weather very well. It all looks fantastic when it's brand new. Same as the Monaco stuff, but it's so pitted, it seems to get dirty quite easy. And the other thing is, there's so many methods here, and especially in the winter, you know, these systems seem to work well in these like factory environments, you know, where the conditions are absolutely perfect, but the English weather is far from perfect, and you can get a lot of complications, you know, when you're held to a price and stuff, and you're trying to juggle jobs, and then the weather is such an influential part of the process, whether we can get away with doing it or not. It's like we're booked in this day and then it rains. It's just, there's so much that can go wrong with it. You know, the regular old sand cement renders, it's a much easier process in the sense that, you know, the weather doesn't hurt it so much, but these new systems are unless they're done in perfect conditions, you are going to have struggle. Now remember, this isn't my job. I'm working for Jasper the Emperor and his empire and the quest to plaster the whole of the galaxy. So we've been doing this, and you know, it's the winter and it's not gone. really according to plan as well as we would like to have done. So this was all finished quite nicely, but look, it rained later, and the actual, when look, there was those temporary plastic down pipes that were put on there, but look, it's hit the scaffold and splashed up, and just on this corner here ruined the silicone finish. So that kind of needs scraping back, and it's a real effort to try and patch these back in. All right, I'm just showing on here as well. Look, it's run down the bead, and it's caused some bobbling here. So fortunately it's around this side of the building and nobody can really see it too well, but yeah, it's going to need making good. Look here, look, it's we're going to have to get some cleaner onto this leg, look where it's bled down, and you know, these things happen. Fortunately, like I say, it's not my job. So I'm not too stressed about that because it's not my responsibility, but we're getting paid to sort it out, and you know, it just, I don't know, it just makes things a bit difficult, doesn't it? If it was just rendered, then I feel you wouldn't be having quite so many problems. Anyway, yeah, it's a bit of a bitty day today. We might set up some beads. It's going to be too cold to do anything outside for fear of it freezing and popping off. We've got a window to patch up in the actual original house, which is just over there. Hold on. Oh, yeah, there it is. So we're going to go inside there and patch that up. And that's about it. What say you? What are you doing today?
Well, I'll eventually be doing landscaping.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice day for it, isn't it?
Yeah. A bit chilly, but be okay.
Well, it's going to drop as well, isn't it? So like frozen ground, digging that.
Yeah, we've got a machine in, so.
Cool. Right, let's get on with today's events then. So let's have a look at this stage of the process here. So this is, it's had the base coat and it's been floated out or rendered out with the one coat renders. And I would argue that this is, you know, good enough. It looks virtually identical to regular sand and cement that you'd knock up in the mixer and stuff. And that painted, I think, is a perfectly good finish. It's got a little bit dirty because this was done a little while ago, and of course the rain, gutters aren't on, it splashed dirt up and stuff like that. So if this was silicone rendered, that will all be in the silicone render, because obviously the finish is the render. When you've got this sort of render on, this can be left like that, and then right at the end of the job, when all the dirty stuff has been done, then you can paint it, you know, right at the end, and it looks brand new. So like I say, the risk of getting this top coat on at this stage of the building project, you run the risk of it getting damaged because there's still so much work going on here. We are around the back, and this is what we scratched in yesterday. So the process, this is the process directly before what you've just seen. And like I say, the beads are up. It's a very, very tight coat. So what goes up is this pink mesh. There's remnants of it there on the floor, and you can see it in here. So the beads all need cleaning off and stuff, and then you bring it out to the floated level, the level of the beads, and render it as you would do regularly. Hi guys, how you doing? Yeah, it's just a funny little video today. It was filmed the morning before we filmed the video, if you've been keeping up with the channel. The video entitled Plastering for Absolute Beginners. That one. So we were supposed to do some rendering and that patch, but we just did the patch because the weather was too cold. So I've just made another little video of this and scheduled that for now, when you are actually watching it right at this moment. So have a look at the rest of the channel if you're new here. There's loads and loads of plastering videos up there now. If you did enjoy this, then please do like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And that being said, oh, don't forget to, there's a Facebook group called Plaster Master Spurs 74. It's a public group. You don't have to ask any questions to join or anything like that, and I've just created that because it's a little bit more of an engaging and personal way of putting your own stuff up there. There's quite a few people there in the group now, and they're putting their own little bits and pieces up, asking questions, if any advice, blah 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 blah. all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's just a nice little place for a little chat should you feel the need to do that. So thanks very much for watching. Again, like, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video. Alright guys, take it easy.